What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Aviation. Hope you're having a fantastic day today. And today I have a very exciting model review for y'all. Today we're going to be taking a look at the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Air 2000 Boeing 757-200. I hope all of you are excited for this today. This is a very unique aircraft, and I'll explain why we are reviewing it today. It's a pretty special one, so I think all of you will understand. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and get started with the box. So this is one of GeminiJets' first aircraft, really, but definitely one of their first Boeing 757s. So it has our cinematic box design. Here's the cinematics. You got the Air 2000, and their logo is very unique. Here's what it was. Diecast model aircraft. Here's the aircraft, and of course, all of these have that blue stroke around the picture, rather. Air 2000 Boeing 757-200, made for collectors by collectors. It's a standard box for this time frame. So there's all the applicable features of it. The back of the box, registration's Golf, Oscar, 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 Sierra. So it is pretty interesting, and it's 1999 release, by the way. And then they have all their Boeing aircraft at that time listed as the trademarks. That's pretty cool. But it is pretty interesting how, you know, all those about the collectible items are there on the back, and then the specifications are really small there on that box. So I think they definitely made a good revision there, so you can see it a little bit better. But obviously, the fundamental has never changed. The size is still the same. So obviously, GeminiJets is not completely ever went away from this design that they've always used, but obviously it's been slightly different. So probably should have brought in the other board, since obviously we mainly use this one for wide bodies now. But anyway, let's give this one the use because it is a really good one. So here it is, everybody, the Air 2000 Boeing 757-200. Now you all are probably wondering why I have this aircraft and so forth. Well, the primary reason is because this was actually one of the very first aircraft that I got in my collection. Now, it doesn't exist in my collection anymore, that original one, because unfortunately it broke at some point. But my parents actually, this is one of the aircraft that I got as a surprise. And obviously, when you first start collecting and don't know what you want, you know, you just say that you want GeminiJets, and you literally get just GeminiJets. And this is one of them because this is a clearance aircraft. And this would have been all the way in 2012 or 13. It would have been around that time. So yeah, well over 10 years ago, definitely 12, 13 years ago, however long it was, when I got my first Air 2000. But I remember having it at my grandma's house, just how fun that was, and, you know, pretty livid yet faint memories, but, you know, it is really cool to think about. But it was weird because this one was always isolated from the rest. I don't know why this one, and it very well could have been that my grandma got me this one. I don't know the full story on it, and I don't know if they would recall exactly, so definitely will have to ask around because I am pretty fascinated to why this aircraft ended up getting isolated. But my best guess is that it is possible that my grandma would have got me this and it stayed at her house. That's all I could really think of. I don't know why I wouldn't have would have brought it home unless if I just wanted a plane there. But regardless of the case, it is awesome to reunite with such a unique aircraft. And yeah, I feel like at some point, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I saw the fuselage for the aircraft. I don't know where that would be, and at some point I will be moving out of my parents' house here, so when I do pack it all up, I will definitely be on the lookout for this among probably 300 or 400 other particular model findings that I'm looking for. But no matter what the case is, it's definitely really cool to have this aircraft back, and I apologize that the backstory there was a little long, but just thought I'd go ahead and give it here before we get started with the actual aircraft, because otherwise, it's not too crazy, besides the fact that I got it for $9 from Off Collectibles, so that part's really cool. So yeah, definitely really glad to have it. This will be a great addition to the collection here, and again, it is, you know, a very special aircraft, so it's not particularly the most flashy or any of that, but, you know, it is special, and, you know, there's definitely value for that all the time. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So here's the cockpit windows along with the nose cone. You got some windshield wipers there as well. There's nose landing gear, and you got the L1 door. Now, as of for the actual livery itself, it's very unique with this cheat line and how they designed it. So they pretty much took pink, yellow, blue, and this kind of tealish color and just made every pattern possible. So it obviously starts here and then it just continues going. So you can look at that as we go throughout the aircraft. But here's the L1 door. Very simple. You just got a lever and windows. You know, the printing at this time was definitely very good for that time frame, along with the proportions of the mold. So it's just not too crazy, but yeah, it's really nice still, even to now. Air 2000 in their original font. I believe there's some sort of European carrier, probably low cost. So, but anyway, Air 2000 probably implying the year 2000, so they made it as simple as possible. I have no clue if there was first class or not. Wouldn't be surprised if not, so this possibly very well could be all economy. But anyway, we do have this title down here, which I believe says first choice, which is pretty interesting. I'm not sure what that slogan particularly was, unless if it was just literally Air 2000 is going to be your first choice. But anyway, you can see the colors progress. So we got pink, and then we got teal, and then we got navy, then we got yellow and navy again, hints of pink throughout. Here's the L2 door, you got some panel detail up here as well. Otherwise, it's a very simple livery, but this creative part definitely makes it stand out, plus the tail. There's the RB211s, they're absolutely phenomenal, and they look really nice. So of course, anytime we get an opportunity to see RB211s, it's gonna be awesome. Got the slats up there in the front, so that's really cool. And you also got the navigation light going very strong. And again, those RB211s looking very nice. And there they are right there as well with the fan blades, which were pretty good at that time. So very impressive, no doubt about that. Let's go ahead and turn this around here so we can see the back of the wing. That looks very nice. You also got the speed brakes on there too, so no shortage of good details throughout. So of course, we're very happy to see that. And yeah, the wing definitely very nice for that time frame. They did a good job on the details and so forth. So very happy to see that. But yeah, passenger windows, a couple missing throughout. This is the normal area on Boeing planes. And I don't know if it's like wiring or why, but it's always 2 gaps there. 737, 75s always have it. So this is a Gen 1 aircraft. So of course, there's the emergency exit there. The Gen 2s have the 2 emergency exits over the wing here. So those are ways to identify 757-200s. 753s have the same exact situation. But anyway, this is a 200 by default. You can just tell by the length. And yeah, all this looks really nice up here. And then you got the colors continuing: pink, navy, teal, pink, yellow, pink. And then of course you got that door that I was referencing there. So that looks pretty nice. And then yeah, that one piece mold, definitely very noticeable. But I think this design works better than it, you know, going underneath and over, because later on they changed this to where it went underneath and it was very obvious. And it seemed like there was more broken aircraft that way. That was just my observation. But having it like this, while it looks clumsy here, takes away that big gap that was there. And, you know, at least this is better. But obviously all that ended up getting eliminated anyway with the 757. But regardless of the case, getting past this L3 door, you got the yellow, teal, pink, yellow, navy to finish it out. A couple more pink specs in there too. www.air2000.com in that basic font. Websites were brand new at the time, so of course wanted to advertise those anywhere you could. Here's the L4 door, and then the restoration once again, Gulf, uniform, Sierra. So very nice detail there. And yeah, you can definitely see with the horizontal stabilizer, that was a one-piece mold forever and always, and that's where it is there regarding that big piece there. And that one's not quite as noticeable. You have to really be looking for it, I would say. But anyway, that looks really nice. You got the 4 colors as well, once again, with the teal, pink, navy, a big portion navy, and yellow. So that's very nice there as well. Let me turn this aircraft on around, and we'll go ahead and take a look. And you got the baggage door there as well, so that's looking very nice. And again, the colors just expand a little bit there too, so that's pretty cool. And you got the back one there as well. So all that turned out really well, and they definitely did a good job. I don't know what that exactly is going on there, why there's specs there. I guess that's just a little bit of residue from the mold production, but that's pretty interesting. But anyway, yeah, good looking aircraft here from the right side. Top, very simple. Not too much to it, a little bit of wing detail, but you barely got the speed brakes. So very, very good for 1999 though. So again, that old GeminiJets logo definitely indicates that. The main gear also nice. Obviously don't roll, but they're nice to place. And they're not really going to break on you very easily. Stand hole as well. And overall, this is a very good looking aircraft. So yeah, feel free to let me know what you all think about the story in the aircraft in the comments below. I'd love to hear. Overall, definitely really glad to have it. It is a quite wonderful aircraft and definitely fits very well in the collection. So overall, very glad to have it. Feel free to let me know what you all think in the comment section below. This is definitely a very nice aircraft, and I'd highly recommend it to anybody that is looking for it. So with that being said, I really hope all of you enjoyed today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Just process. Do you love and love you do? My name is CM Aviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. As CM Aviation is signing off.